Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Prestige Encounters Beyond the Dice, which is our new name for our Q&A program that we run with members of our Prestige Encounters cast. Joining us this lovely evening are four members of Prestige Encounters, including myself. I'm Guy, I play Sanasha. We have Isaac, who plays Naoki. Jeremiah, who plays Diablo. And Josh, who plays Percy. So, how are we all doing tonight?
Doing all right.
Doing all right? Feeling good?
Yeah, I ate a burger.
You ate a burger. Perfect.
Pretty good, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That might give me an interesting question.
As Diablo or as Jeremiah?
Well, Diablo's not talking right now, is he? Okay, come on.
Yeah,
Very
no.
true. Very true.
Diablo could be talking right now if you wanted him to, but we'll kind of get from that. So, going with this, we've often had questions that kind of being asked either by the host or members of the party. We do actually have a couple questions that were pre-submitted for this evening, so we're actually going to open up with a couple of those, both of which were actually posed by Naoki or Isaac, who plays Naoki from here. So I'll actually let you pose the first question because you actually asked a question of my character.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I don't think you've ever submitted that or said anything about it. Where is Sanasha's grove located?
Well, and that's kind of one of the interesting things from this, because we are kind of going into pretty far into the Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Sanasha is a later insert, and one of the things up until recently was actually the fact that Sanasha didn't know exactly where her grove was located, because she didn't spend a lot of time out of that. But it did turn out, as we kind of explored this, that her grove actually is located in her home nation of Dorganol, which is the northern nation, and in fact, I believe the only major part of the continent that we haven't visited so far. Also, the location of Rosad, so it is kind of an interesting thing from there, because now we realize that returning to her grove actually would potentially include her returning home. It's sort of a mystery of that, because her original entry into the grove and her recovery period happened when she was unconscious, and her official departure from the grove, which she never wandered far from, happened via teleportation as well. So she's never actually taken the journey from her grove to get anywhere outside of that grove in the periphery. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, set up a mystery. And that is the benefit of the Dungeon Master kind of playing with the mystery you set up with the character and trying to find something that is thematically appropriate for them. And Josh, did you have a question you wanted to pose before we moved on to Isaac's next question? Because I think that's a good team one.
Yeah. Mine was a team one as well, I guess. Okay. My question is, if there was something that would tempt the players to, or the characters, I should say, to betray the party, what would that be?
Oh my god. Who wants to go first on that one?
I guess, yeah. For Diablo, I think the topic's kind of been touched on. Not that it's gone as far as being a thing of betraying the party, but if, I guess, the party were to play too opposite to his goals or his morals, yeah, we actually love the Blackshires here. We're gonna be friends with them, and
Diablo, you need to marry one of the Blackshires to cement our alliance.
It's that type of thing. Yeah, it's just playing too friendly with the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo would probably do something unfavorable, or I guess not stick around.
Yeah. And that's a question from them, is because you've had a character depart in the past. Would he fight the party, or would he leave and seek new allies?
Well, I feel like Diablo knows that there is strength in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen it firsthand, and he knows he'd be able to recruit people.
Yeah.
He probably would seek people that share common ideas, seeing as they had met people who had at least generally the same goals, even if they were for equally or just bad reasons.
You could regroup with Hernandez.
But hypothetically, probably look for more people. He knows that he's not like invincible or anything. He can't do everything by himself if he wants to get his goals done, especially if the party strays from what he wants.
Yeah. Well, and the question being, would the party stray that far that he would get to that point? And that's, I guess, a story for another day.
Yeah, that would have to be pretty extreme for that to happen.
Yeah.
But it's also, who knows how close he is to doing something, especially now that his last day one is departed, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, his trio party.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go next on that one. And it's interesting because, we kind of look at, we were talking about the moral spectrum of characters previously, and sort of putting Sanasha and Diablo near the top of that spectrum insofar as morality. And I would have to echo, there would be a line in the sand of doing too much evil for Sanasha. Like, if we swapped to an evil campaign, I don't think Sanasha could go along with it. The thing we did in Drellworm, if the response to what we did in the end was, oh, well, we did it and it's fine, probably that would have been enough for her even then. But yeah, if we were going to be like, screw the world, we don't care about any people, we're just in it for ourselves, that might be it. She's also kind of shown that she will do a lot to protect the people she cares about, and as much as the party has kind of become a secondary family, I do think that there are people in her life that if she had to fight the party to protect them, she would. Right? I mean, Diablo's had tragedy. She hasn't had tragedy, Sanasha. She has people in her life who are still alive. She is not an orphan. She has not had a tragic loss of her parents. So, yeah, if there was a threat to her family, if, let's say, Percy was holding a knife to her mother's throat, she would probably club him into a paste. Yeah. I'm not saying Percy would do it, but...
Wow.
It'd
probably be fangs to a throat, not a knife.
Yeah. We're gonna go with Isaac for Naoki. What would make Naoki betray the party? Or could
I think like one of the only things I can think of that Naoki would maybe betray the party for is if we directly went against the Grove. Like if we said, nope, the Groves are gone, or we're going to directly attack them or get rid of them. I think that's where he would definitely draw the line, because he's more on neutral good, because he has admittedly done like bad things before.
Yeah, he's also been one of the he acted against the intent of part of the party in that scene with Talia, but he ended up being the peacemaker in that moment. He was the chaos maker, but Naoki healing those and short-term PCs who turned into antagonists also saved our lives. So you betrayed Talia's vengeance in exchange for saving all of us.
Pretty much. That's what he would do. It's just like there's not really a lot that he would be super against unless like everyone's life was in danger or his grove was in danger.
All right. And you know that you have to answer this question as well, Josh, right? Like, you don't get to pose a group question and not answer it. So, back to you.
I think for Percy, I mean, if I had to, it would probably be something as simple as, like, a god tells him that he can have his family back, and he can go back to living before Toro, before all of it kicked off, a simple life back in the traveling caravan. I think he would think about it, but I think he would eventually betray the party for that.
So he would do anything for love?
I guess.
Yeah.
Bit cliche, but...
Yeah.
No, I feel like that was his wife, right? And, like, his child, and...
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
You do realize the Dungeon Master will hear this, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, you gotta sprinkle a little bit of, what can we add into the story?
We've set up several temptations right now for a Dungeon Master to pick up, being like, can I get the party to work against each other for a moment? How can I tempt these characters? Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty good from there. So let's push back to Isaac, who had another interesting kind of thing, and this is one of those fun group questions to posit. We can speculate about it together.
It was mainly like just a silly question, like if each member was assigned to like an element, or basically like what would be their go-to element, or what would we assign them to?
Diablo's fire. 100%. He glows brightly. He's, like the sun incarnate, shining on the world.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, like, are we going like classic 4 elements? Like,
no, it can be any element. It could be platinum. Who knows?
I could see Diablo being like lightning, or like like lightning or thunder.
If it was like literal elements, Diablo would be gold.
Yeah, that too.
Okay. Beautiful, precious. Like, what's your thought process on him being gold? He's just the shiniest.
He's Diablo Dorado.
Yeah. Okay.
Golden Devil.
Okay. Yeah. I see Percy as water. Because he's been relatively fluid. He kind of goes with the flow, changes himself,
Yeah, I would agree with that. I did actually deliberate with Guy before. Actually,
yeah. I would just give it an
so I had no idea. I was like, I don't know what Percy could be.
Yeah. What do we think Naoki would be?
Honestly, air, because he's just so carefree.
Yeah, he goes with the flow. Yeah, just flits about there, but not always oppressive. But he can be dangerous and lethal. And okay. Emmeline's not here. Do we want to speculate on what kind of what element Emmeline would be?
Poison.
Is there an element of evil?
Uranium?
Nah.
It's like a deceitful element.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people used to, to make things out of uranium. They thought it was durable and pliable, but they found out it was slowly poisonous. But I feel like we're really hitting Emmeline a lot. I mean, Emmeline's in a bad place, right?
True, very true.
Yeah.
Anybody here to defend herself?
Yeah. Let's not be too mean. It's sort of like Tinko, but like the 4 classic elements, which is sort of what makes it the most interesting. Yeah, and that's a tough one to think of. Like, do you go into like, is she ice instead, cold of heart right now, but pliable like water if she were to warm up?
I mean, if we went into the basic 4 elements, I think Earth, because she's very rooted in her ideals.
Okay.
And won't move on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess honestly, if we're going that route, if we're going to the strict 4 elements, I see Emmeline more as fire. In the weird, like, Promethean kind of way.
She's rebirth. She's
like Discovery and stuff like that.
Discovery, flying too close to the sun and potentially burning up. It's a good one. And what's Sanasha? I don't know.
I mean,
I feel she would be Earth.
I guess it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about rooted.
Rooted, yeah. Sturdy.
Roots.
Stubborn. Yeah. Okay. So let's recap from here. So we've settled on we're branching out. Diablo is gold, even with the four element rule, which can be a version of Earth. Percy is water. Naoki is air. Emmeline is fire, and Sanasha's just good old fashioned stone. Okay, kind of an interesting one there. So, I was thinking about one of you was talking about what you ate for the day, and this is a fun Dungeon Master question because it really kind of makes you think a little about your character. What is your character's perfect meal? What if they could have any meal? What would they have? Yeah, or their comfort meal. Their comfort meal, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like for Percy, that he wouldn't have a specific meal. It would more be his perfect meal would be like while he's in a certain place, right? Like sat around the campfire, everything's chill. He's just had a hard, busy day of hard labor training, and he's just, he's not eating because he has to. He's eating to socialize with his friends and his family, and that's kind of like he wouldn't have like a specific meal. It'd be like whatever the broth of the day is, right? Like, we hunted a rabbit, so he's eating rabbit and gravy, and
so he's not picky. But
potatoes,
like,
right?
Let's say like the meal his mother would make for him when he was having like a bad day, the one she would make him the most comfortable, right?
His mother didn't cook for him.
Well, let's say their personal cook. What was the meal that they would make? He goes to the back kitchens and the cook makes something for him because they know it'll make him feel bad because he's feeling down on himself.
Probably be like, I don't know what it would be.
Beans on toast?
No, it'd probably be like a dessert, right? Like a cheesecake or something, right? If cheesecake exists in the fantasy world.
Cheesecake, chocolate cheesecake,
no, like just like a vanilla,
not like
basic vanilla New York cheesecake.
Like not like with like a nice like caramel glaze over top, just drizzle.
No, like a strawberry jam type glaze thing.
Okay. Naoki, I'm assuming is alcohol, but no, give us an actual answer.
Alcohol and bear meat.
Bear meat?
Bear meat, wow.
I mean, there's not really that big of like animals besides like bears, deer.
What does
bear meat's a risky one. Yeah. You get there's like a common like disease that spreads through bear meat that like screws you up, but
yeah.
I mean, it's I've seen people eat it.
Mm-hmm. What kind of alcohol? What's his comfort booze?
Comfort booze would probably be a nice red Merlot.
Okay. Well, we have to eventually come up with fantasy names for all of these wines, because the wine names, if you are not aware, listener, are generally based on the region of which they were originally being grown. So, Merlot is from a specific region, and they spread from there. But, yeah. All right. Do you want to go next, Diablo?
Sure. I mean, Diablo spent quite some time in the wilderness, which means that his most reliable meal, and probably the meal that brings him the most comfort in the sense that he knows he could probably find it, is just some sort of like fat trout from like the Badlands.
That's good.
Like over a fire or something like that. Nothing super complicated. he's not so much the overly indulgent type when it comes to food.
Yeah, that's interesting. Right. Sanasha would be like kind of ridiculous as well. If you go back to her like childhood comfort foods, suckling pig, roast pheasant, roast potatoes, a nice.
Sanasha would strike me as someone who would try eat spicy food but fail miserably, but be like, "Oh, I really like it. I really like it."
Yeah, but that wouldn't be her comfort food, though.
No,
so...
but that's what I'm just imagining.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I love spicy food. Give me all the spicy food."
Well, and for all you know, Darganol could have all spicy food, so it's not likely, because it is a little bit to the north. But, it's sort of things that would have been caught within, hunting grounds, fine dining would be her comfort food in some ways. But, I mean, if you go back to when she's a child, it would be having, like, sweet rolls in the kitchen and, like, fresh bread and things like that. She could sneak away from the kitchens. She's a big girl. She ate really well. She was younger. Right.
If you want a little extra info I could tell you what Rosad's would be.
Yeah, what's Rosad's?
As a person with more of a, I guess, normal childhood, he would be a big fan of like a duck pie, like duck meat pie, and then like a dark beer or something. That's the type of thing he would have preferred, like something where you can go to like a pub or something late at night and get.
Yeah, same city, different foods.
Yeah.
Sanasha's having fancy people food, and Razad's having the food that everyone wants. So I'll ask that same question. What was Karamgaku's favorite comfort oil?
Tree sap.
Tree sap?
Like tree sap.
Yeah. Any specific tree? Maple, birch?
No, it'd be like a just like a classic oak.
Okay. So like a 1,000-year oak. Yeah.
Really old. Old as the bear.
Yeah. And Valerie would be just sweets. Like tarts and things like that, little sweets. I mean, her diet wouldn't have been all that different than Sanasha's, but way less meat from there. Yeah. So, Isaac, you don't have a second character, but what do you think, just speculating, what do you think Emmeline's comfort food would be?
I feel like Emmeline's comfort food would be like a nice cup of tea.
Yeah, a nice cup of tea with roast beetles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or something like something really like juicy, like a very juicy bug.
Yeah, a nice maggot that's been in a chest cavity for a couple months.
Oh, brother.
I'm sorry, Chloe. I'm sorry. Okay, so we did start a little bit late today, so we're actually going to wrap this up a little bit early this evening. So thank you everyone for joining me for the Q&A tonight, or Prestige Encounters Beyond the Dice. And so we will be doing this again every week at, oh my gosh, what time is it in the United States? It was 7 p.m. Eastern time. We will do this every week, and as we do have some questions, they were submitted by members of the cast, but anyone who is interested in asking questions, you can submit them directly in the Lich Souls Discord, or we also are happy to have members of the community join us if you're willing to ask a question directly of a cast member, if you want to learn more about the lore of the world, or more about the characters that participate in Prestige Encounters. And we certainly welcome and look forward to anything you can do. But that is the end of this, and we will see you next week for the next question session. Have a good evening.